Hi there. Have you ever had a really great experience at a restaurant? Whether that's from your great waitress or a great bartender, or you really like the manager, they sent you gifts, had a great time. Or have you ever had a really bad experience at a restaurant? Really chaotic, really tense environment? Well, this could be because the substance abuse in the industry, whether that's maid, custodians, counter workers, cooks, there's a really big problem with it. A lot of people have a dependency on alcohol, mainly on alcohol and sometimes drugs, um, because the environment is an environment that naturally breeds stress. Everyone's trying to be perfect, professional. They want to provide a high quality service to you. This leads to people getting really stressed, needing an outlet, or needing something to get them through their shift. Substance abuse comes in, unfortunately. Uh, the workers do end up conditioned to lean on stuff to help them get through their shift, usually alcohol. The issue could be helped by exposing it, letting people know about it, even if they've never worked in the industry, because people who have never worked in the industry don't necessarily have an idea of it existing, unfortunately. Like you. A lot of people have never worked in this industry. So, that being said, the cooks, the people that work there, they want to be deemed as useful. They don't want to lose their job. They want to make ends meet. So they're working overtime. They're showing up early. They're clocking out late, doing a lot. And most times people lean on substance abuse for that. The New York Times has actually described the experience of waiting tables as physically exhausting and emotionally stressful. Servers and cooks use drug and alcohol to make it to the end of their shift. Being forced to cover extra shifts or voluntarily working overtime to augment the minimum wage that creates the Boston Globe, that creates what the Boston Globe calls a fertile ground of anxiety. And with anxiety, people have bad experiences or they have great experiences because of the anxiety the stressors do go through. Some of these workers don't even have a union representation. Employees have no choice but to put up with the poor pay, the poor scheduling. They even have to put up with the verbal, physical, and emotional abuse from managers that have to make sure everything runs smoothly. So the managers, the cooks, the servers, they all endure a peak amount of stress trying to present the customers great experiences. Sometimes the experience they want doesn't come out how they want it to, and they don't get tipped well. They get bad reviews on Yelp. It just piles on top of each other, and it leads to substance abuse. Actually, 30% of the revenue that comes from restaurants is from alcohol sales. So the access to it is automatically easily accessible to the workers. So sometimes they have beer allowance, which is people get a chance to have a drink after work from the establishment or prior. I've actually experienced some of my coworkers get fired because I used to work in a restaurant for about 5 to 6 years, and they've gotten fired, unfortunately, because they were coming to work drunk consistently and bringing in alcohol and drinking on the job. They smelled of alcohol, and instead of the establishment helping them with the problem that they've introduced them to because of the stress, they just let them go. And the addiction for it didn't let them go, so they went on to continuously abuse the substances, unfortunately. So to help with that, tipping could also be a way to help the people, the workers, feel a little bit better about the performance that they put on. It makes them feel a little bit more reassured about how things are going, even if they had a bad shift or a bad week. That could help. Also, being really nice to them helps. Not being a person that just is dissatisfied with even if you are dissatisfied, how you go about it makes a great deal for the worker and for the manager and the establishment. people who are abusing alcohol on the outside of the restaurant, you would see hyperactivity or sluggishness, or even long periods of time your waiter would be in the restroom drinking or abusing drugs. My coworker, actually, I've witnessed her, unfortunately, abuse drugs in the restroom. It's like a common thing. Even some of the people that come in to enjoy the establishment also go off to the restroom and enjoy whatever drug they brought with them. But altogether, if we were to just be a bit more open about being nice to everybody, would help with the situation, and also spreading awareness would help with the situation, so that everybody could feel a little bit more alleviated about it. Yeah. So thank you.